am Amber and I'm an intuition and subconscious breakthrough mentor. I created this podcast for you to show you your infinite potential, help you break down the barriers to more love in your life, and to make joy a choice by listening to your intuition. No matter if you're married or single, this show is for you because the world would be a much more loving and better place if we learn to all date ourselves. Together we let go of fears and resistance around your dream life so you can show up in your full authenticity. Disclaimer, listening to this podcast might result in a continuous glow up. Let's start the show. How to overcome big disappointments and how to know when it's time to truly let go. Welcome to episode 13 of the Date Yourself podcast. This is a big topic and I want to be taking it on with care, but I also have not prepared anything for this episode because I feel like I just want to free flow with this episode. There have been many moments where I've suffered through big disappointments and had to let people, circumstances, opportunities go. And it's not something that I think lightly of. It's something that has a long period of processing, of knowing if something feels right, of doubting, of feeling within yourself, is this still what I need? And there's a lot that comes with that, right? Being scared to make the wrong decision and also the shame that comes with disappointment. It's a lot. So I want to untangle this so you can feel some relief and maybe give you a permission slip to let go of something that has been bothering you or that is just simply time to let go of, and to give some more insight into what it is that you need by talking about this from my experience. So I hope that you are all feeling good. Maybe there is something that you are in the process of letting go of, and so this might be a beautiful confirmation or maybe comforting episode for you. As we all go through changes and we outgrow versions of ourselves that we don't really resonate with anymore, that also comes with some uncomfortable outgrowing of people and circumstances, right? And that's a natural thing to happen, to go through. Doesn't make it easy, right? I just saw a post that talked about the change being really messy and uncomfortable, and then letting go is this rising line, and then the result of the change feels amazing. And if we are in the change itself, we will not see that the change will bring forth something beautiful. But as all things that are moving out of your life, that creates a space for something new to fill that void, right? All those spaces need to be filled up. That's when you let go of something, you usually see a new opportunity coming in right away or soon. And that's the beautiful thing of letting go. So letting go is not always a bad thing. Giving up even is not always a bad thing. For example, and this might be a bit extreme, but I have, for example, changed schools 4 times in my life. I think it's 4 times. So in high school, after 1 year, I transferred to another school just because I wanted to go to that school in the first place. And so I didn't get in the first time. In the Netherlands, it just works a little bit weird sometimes with that. Even in high school, you have to get in. And then I have done 3 different studies that I also stopped doing. The reason for this is because I knew with a lot of careful consideration, it was not something that I took lightly, even though telling you about 3 studies might make it seem that I just hop from study to study, right? In a way, I know that it can seem like that, but I started with journalism when I was 16. And I've always been multi-passionate, so I've always loved to do different things, and I'm interested in a lot of things in life. I love to learn, I love to try out things, see what fits, and most of the time I really enjoy something for a while, and then I just go to the next thing. And I love this about me, but I also knew that that would make my life really hard in a way, because most people know that it's the right thing to stick with something. At least that's what society tells us, to just pick one study, make it your job, and then retire, die. But now with the remote work and other work opportunities, we know that that is not necessarily the only way, right? And that's something that I figured out as well. As I did not enjoy my study because I noticed that the curriculum just was not good enough for me. I found myself teaching myself how to edit, how to write, how to do all these things that you should learn in that study of journalism, that it was faster to just teach it myself through these YouTube tutorials than actually go sit in my class and listen to a teacher, because these teachers, and like, I'm not trying to like roast this study, but it was not good. I was literally teaching myself these things because I did not find the satisfaction in my classes. And that's why I dropped out. I was like, I can make more use of my time by teaching myself than just to sit here and listen to these people repeat the same thing over and over again. Because literally I got to hear someone teach something in one class, and then the next teacher would repeat it and teach us the same thing. So I was like, what am I even learning here? After a while. So that didn't last long. And so from this, you might notice that I'm a little bit impatient and I love to learn. And my parents were like, you're still 17, so you still need to go to school. And so I enrolled in interior design school because I'm a creative. Like, I love to make things, think up concepts and stuff like that. So loved that. But after a while, I found out like I'm not going to make this my job, because I knew that with my diploma, I could not really find work pretty fast. I had to start my own business in interior design. And then that was like a really long road that I had to be walking in order to become successful, right? And I loved that idea. I've always loved the idea of being my own business owner, as I am right now as well. But then I just didn't really know what I would be doing in business. But I knew that interior design, I loved it, but it was not the thing that I would want to do as my work, right? And so I found that out after a year, and then after careful consideration, and I even felt really bad for quitting, because that would be my second time that I would be quitting. I actually had a long period where I was doubting if I would stay or go, and that was really scary. I went to see one of my mentors, and she was also like, it's okay to quit, if it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. And it's okay to quit and find something that does resonate with you. And just her saying that made me feel so relieved that I was like, okay, stopping actually feels really good. That means something, right? And then I quit. I just needed to have someone around me say that that was okay to do. Because my parents, of course, wanted me to study and get a job and have that stable foundation. It was from a place of love, right? That they wanted me to do a study, as most people do. And there I found myself questioning what I was going to do. So I started working at a Q cafe, and then kind of shit hit the fan in my case, because I was really burned out. There were also a lot of things happening in my private life, with a situationship, with things happening at home, which were really taxing on me. I was just exhausting myself to be there for other people all the time, that I kind of burned out. And then I started having panic attacks because my body just couldn't keep it together anymore. It was a big signal of, okay, we're done. Like, I cannot take on this much pressure anymore. And this is actually quite a vulnerable share for me, because I can imagine that not everyone is so privileged to quit a study and to be burned out and to take a rest. I eventually took a few months to come back to myself, to figure out what it was that I wanted before I got back to being normal, as in that I could work again without having immense panic. And so that was a journey for me to figure out who I was, what I wanted, what fit me, what didn't fit me. And so I'm telling you this story because through this all, I'm now doing what I love the most. And I figured that out through quitting and trying new things. I didn't stop. I still wanted to grow. I still went to seek coaching. I went to seek out how I could make money on my own. I enrolled in a business program that I did finish, by the way. And so I taught myself all these things that you have to be doing as an entrepreneur, which is also like knowing how to do your own marketing, being the photographer, the videographer, the editor, the salesperson, the accountant, the web designer. Like I've done it all by myself because that was just what I chose to do, right? To have my own business. And that was kind of my study. I taught myself all these things because I knew that this was what I wanted to do. Through that, I also applied for 2 jobs in marketing communication, which require you to have education in that, right? To maybe have a study in marketing communication. I did not have that, but I did get those jobs. I've also left people who were really good for me until they weren't. And so that also brings up a lot of shame, a lot of insecurity around doing the right thing, right? To know that you want to treat them with respect, but also respect yourself and let go because you know that that is the right thing to do because you might feel like you've outgrown them, right? I have done that a few times and that hurts, but this also meant that I have now people around me that can really see me and support me for what I need right now in this phase in my life. And it's not to say that that is easy or fun to do. It's heartbreaking sometimes. But I'm telling you this story because I want you to know that it gets better. And if you know that you feel that you don't want to stay in this place where you are at right now, you need a change. And like the obvious answer is to let go. The also obvious reaction might be that you cannot do that because it can also hurt other people. It can really create a big shift in your life, change, uncertainty, and that is so scary. It doesn't mean that it's not the right decision. It doesn't mean that that is not the right thing to do. It just feels scary because it's unfamiliar to you and you don't know what is on the other side. I'm recording this episode today because I know how hard that is. That's why I have told you this story. It's not an easy decision to make, to let an opportunity, a study, a best friend, a lover, a family member, or whatever it may be, go because you know that that is what you need right now. So I want to give you some tips in how to know when to let go and what to do with major disappointments and maybe disappointment within yourself. First, I want to start with don't listen to what other people are saying. And that might sound a little bit weird because I had the balls to quit my study the second time because my mentor said that to me. So maybe you need that. But I mean the people who have a strong opinion about what you're about to do because they think that they know what is best for you. But do they? I always ask myself, are these people that are giving me advice living the life that I want to live? Most of the time the answer is no, because they're not standing in my shoes. They don't see through my eyes. They don't feel the same things that I feel. It can be a slippery slope when you compare your life with that of other people and other people compare your life to theirs because it's not the same. And yes, we can give good advice, and yes, we might really gain something from it for sure. I love talking to my friends about my stuff, right? Because they all have different experiences and different ways of giving advice, and I love that. But when it comes to letting something go, you will be the one to know when that time is that you're ready to let go. You know and decide what your worth is. So what I noticed is that a lot of people in my circle were really scared for me to cut people off or to quit things because that's not something that they were familiar with because they loved to stay in their comfort zone. And I'm not saying this because I don't think that that is okay. That is totally fine because it's your life. That's not something that I can say anything about. That's your choice. But it wasn't something that I knew was what I needed to do. I knew that I wanted to grow, and that meant that I had to go outside of my comfort zone, which meant doing uncomfortable things, making uncomfortable decisions, and sitting with the consequences of it, and possibly facing the disappointment. That's why I want to encourage you to not take what everyone else is saying so seriously, because do they have the same dreams, the same values? Do they want to get the same out of life as you do? What I would ask advice on is the best way to let go or to talk to someone that you are about to let go, or to think about the time frame, or think about how you will handle things when you, for example, quit your job, quit your study. Like, do you have a plan B? Or how are you going to support yourself in that difficult period? Because maybe you need some more support. I know that I needed some support from my coaches and my mentors, and they helped me immensely to know that what I was doing was the right thing. They made me see my own worth and that it was okay to choose myself. I've always been a big people pleaser, and I had to learn that I was not a bad person for choosing my own happiness. And this was such a big lesson for me. That is why I'm talking about this today as well. Choosing myself is the best thing that I've ever done for myself, even though it was fucking uncomfortable. It was super uncomfortable because I also encountered a lot of resistance from people that were not expecting me to stand up for myself or to let them go or to do something for myself. And yes, that can be such a disappointment to have to let people down. But what you don't see is what is on the other side. There's a reason why you are feeling that it's time to let go, because your soul is guiding you towards that change, towards that open door to a new opportunity. Like I said in the beginning, if you make space, it will be filled up. What you're feeling right now is the next thing that wants to come in. For example, if you're in a relationship that is not fulfilling anymore and that is kind of draining you, that you know is not really filling your cup anymore, and you have tried to make it work, right? You have maybe had a lot of talks about it, or something just happened that made you see like it's not going to work anymore. The comfortable thing to do is just to stay in that relationship because you don't want to hurt that other person and you don't want to give up on the comfort that you have created with each other, right? You know how the other person operates. You know what to expect. There are no like surprises, and you can still get something out of the relationship, right? But it's not fulfilling anymore. And that nagging voice, that intuition that tells you let go, is also nudging you towards maybe someone who will be fulfilling, someone who gets to speak your language, who just gets you where everything is clicking. And yes, not every relationship is perfect, I'm not saying that, but there is something better out there waiting for you that you're feeling right now if you know that it's time to let go. And I've talked about this a few times already, but I just found my soul friends last year. But I had to let my old friends go that I was really dependent on. And I kind of formed my identity around the people that I was seeing the most, right? They say the 5 people that you spend the most time with is kind of who you become as a person. And I truly feel this. So if you are feeling that this current maybe job, maybe friends, maybe relationship, whatever it may be, if you feel like it's not really helping you grow anymore, not really helping you get out of your comfort zone, evolve, or you're not treated with the same respect and kindness that you know that you deserve, know that that is out there. There is a job out there which will really help you grow and evolve. Maybe the people right now that were of your childhood don't really get the version that you want to grow into. And so there are friends out there who are already like the person that you want to become. And they are really inspiring and uplifting and they help you grow the most, right? And for example, if you've been in a situationship, you know that it's time to get out. There is someone who will take the time to get to know you, to know all the stories about you, who will speak your language and love you truly. There are people out there who want to give you the world and more. It's your job to make space for that so it can come in. If you are the one that is blocking it, we are the only one who need to take that responsibility to decide what gets to come into our life and how we fill up our time, right? Who are those people? What is that job? What is the energy that you are allowing in your life? And what is the energy that you would love to have in your life? I'm telling you, whatever it is that you know that you want is out there. It's just that you need to make room for it. You need to believe that you're already worthy of it and it's already coming your way. And then you can step into that person who has that already. But that takes a lot of guts and a lot of trust. So let's just do a little check-in. Now that I've touched upon these things, how are you feeling right now? Do you feel like something is resonating? Are you feeling kind of this feeling of shit, maybe I do need to let go of something? Or maybe it's a reflection moment of saying like, shit, I'm really proud of you for how you have taken care of yourself by making these decisions, taking the responsibility to make your life a lovely place to be in. Dropping into our bodies and really feeling how this resonates helps us to notice how we really feel about it. So with letting go, there is also grief happening. This might come through feelings of disappointment, maybe disappointment within yourself, maybe disappointment of what the relationship could have been, maybe the disappointment of your needs not being met, or the disappointment of not being treated with respect and having to step up, maybe not getting the closure that you want, right? So how do we deal with that? If you've been dealing with this kind of grief, I want you to know, and this also really helps me to realize my own worth, is that you did the best you could at that moment in time. Other people also did the best that they could in that moment in time. Otherwise, they would have done things differently. If you could have, would you have done it differently? Maybe the answer is yes. But can you also see that you could not have done anything differently because maybe you did not have all the information? Maybe you had no clue of what the other person was feeling at that time because they also didn't tell you. And maybe if you look back, for example, when I look back on me quitting my studies, I was so disappointed in myself. I had a lot of grief around it because I was like, what the hell am I going to do now, right? I can look at that girl and just be really proud of making such a difficult decision to step into that unknown. And yes, I have blamed myself in that time frame when I quit and the months after. I was so disappointed that I had those panic attacks and I could not work. I literally couldn't really do anything besides dreaming of a better future, of maybe one day starting my own business. I just needed to trust and hope that better days would come. When I look back on that girl, I'm like, you were so strong. And I love that you have trusted yourself and the process in life enough that you would make that leap. There's no need to be disappointed in yourself because look at where we are now. You cannot see that when you are in it, right? This is me, like I'm now 25. I was 18, 19. I was 18 when I quit my study. I was 19 when I started my own business. You're not seeing it in the moment. Just trust that you did the best that you could in that time with all the information that you had. And also know that this is not the end, right? It doesn't mean that that one decision is going to be the end of it. You can just see it as a new beginning of making space and knowing that there is a plan for you. I always say like the universe is 10 steps ahead of us. I already had some people in my corner that I did not know could help me when I was quitting that study, right? That mentor that I was going to help me so much. She was actually doing a lot of what I am doing right now. She inspired me so much. I didn't know that I would be ending up doing similar work to her. When I was 17, I started following Marie Forleo, who is teaching business. I ended up doing her course 2 years later, business school, to start my own business. I already followed her. I already watched her videos on YouTube. Just trust that those puzzle pieces have already been placed on your path to complete that whole puzzle. You cannot see the whole puzzle yet because you're still in the journey. And the next step for you might be to let go, to find something new, to start that new journey. So if you are disappointed right now, maybe in yourself or in how others have handled things, know that choosing you is the best decision. Know that choosing you can also be handled with love. When I let friends go, I also told them like, I have so much love for you, and they know that I still love them from a distance. I just told them that we're not resonating anymore, and it's up to them if they are going to get that, respect that, or that they feel really triggered and maybe project stuff onto you, like that's their stuff. Just like if you are going to quit your job, like that company needs to deal with the consequences, but you showing up for yourself, you choosing you, is the best thing that you can do because you are not living for that company. You are living for you, right? and what is on the other side might make you really happy. So them wanting you to stay or change how you feel is not going to help you in any way, because that's not going to make you happy. That's not going to get you to your dream job, to your dream friends, to your dream relationship. That is you choosing to do what feels good to you. That is you knowing within yourself, within your soul, within your intuition, that you know what is best for you, that you can trust that little voice saying, go left, go right, let go try to do this. If we are really connected to our intuition, it's going to be so much easier for you to feel within yourself how to do this, how to make these decisions, because you can feel within your whole body that that is right for you. That's why I want to empower you to listen to yourself, to not listen so much to other people, because you can already feel it within yourself. You don't need to make other people happy if that doesn't mean that you are able to stay on the path for you. You don't need to compromise until you are not fulfilled anymore, right? Yes, it feels amazing to help other people, to make other people feel seen, loved, appreciated. But there's a way to go about that, right? It doesn't mean that you have to put yourself on fire to keep others warm. I used to do that a lot. That's the reason why I got burned out. So I learned the hard way that that is not sustainable. So if anything, I hope that this episode can give you the permission slip to choose yourself, to feel within your body what is good for you, what resonates, what doesn't. And I also want to say, like, give yourself time to process these things. You don't have to make the decision today, but maybe you've known this for a long time. And so maybe it is the right decision to just finally commit to yourself, like, I'm going to choose me, or to admit to yourself, like, I know that I need to let this go. And maybe that is the first step, just being honest with yourself. And then you'll figure it out later. Like, you being honest with yourself is the best gift that you can give to yourself. Because if you're not honest with yourself, you're gonna live a lie, right? I promised myself the day that I realized that I wanted to quit my study, when I was with that mentor who told me, like, it's okay to quit. I told myself to not lie to myself anymore. Never again. Because I already knew that I wanted to quit. I just postponed me admitting that to myself for, I think it was like 4 months. I started thinking about it before the new semester, like the whole summer vacation. I was just like, I'm not sure, I'm just not gonna think about it. And so it just took up a lot of space in my mind, but I just pushed it away because it was a difficult thing to think about, because I did not want to let my parents down and did not want to let myself down by quitting a second time, right? And so I just pushed it away. And when my mentor said, like, you can let it is okay to let this go and find something that resonates more with you, it was like this weight was lifted off my shoulders. And I was like, shit, it actually feels really good to admit to myself that, yes, I want to quit, and I'm just going to find out what those consequences are and figure it out. It's okay. I just felt so relieved, and like there was new space to be filled. And that moment, I knew that I did not want to lie to myself any longer, because being honest with myself just felt so much better and so much easier than to just run away from how I was actually feeling and what I actually wanted. And so I made this decision that I was not going to lie to myself anymore, because that just didn't feel good. And I truly believe that not lying to myself anymore has given me so many opportunities, so much growth, because it also means that you have to develop this close relationship with yourself to know how you are actually feeling about things, and to admit that to yourself really quickly. That means that I've also been able to grow pretty quickly, because I want to be that honest with myself. So if something isn't resonating anymore with me, or someone is crossing a boundary, or things are just not feeling right, I'm going to admit that to myself and do something about it, right? And that's why things move pretty quickly in my life. But I also believe that that has made me try new things and meet people, and just create opportunities for myself pretty quickly, because I don't really see the comfort zone as this really great place anymore, because it will just keep me stuck and postponing my growth, right? If I'm honest with myself, I'm not postponing my growth. I'm just saying, like, this is how it is. This is how I feel. Let's do something about it. I still have a lot of peace and a lot of harmony in my life, because that's one of my core values, especially after having that journey of burnout and panic attacks. Like, my peace and harmony and loving people around me is so super important to me. That's like my one priority, to keep my space clean, basically, of draining energies, of things that are not good for me. So please be honest with yourself, because that's how you grow. And I want you to create the best possible life for yourself that gives you peace, that gives you harmony, and loving people around you that treat you with respect, with kindness, because that's just what you deserve. Also know that there is so much more possible than you think right now. I could not have imagined that I would have a job in marketing communication. Like, when I was 18, when I quit, I just truly had no idea where life would take me. And I'm so proud of the young version of myself for making that decision. I'm really happy that I quit. So don't believe everything that society is telling you. Walk your own path. You're going to be more than okay. You're capable of so much more than you think. If you're wanting some help to know how to navigate this change and what your decision should be, I'm helping you in my automatic glow up bundle to find the answers within. So I'm not going to tell you what to do. I have the soul vision meditation where you get answers from deep within. So your intuition will guide you, will tell you how to move forward. This can be really helpful. It feels like coming home is what I get back from my clients after doing this meditation. And they feel really connected to themselves. It's easy to make decisions. That is the soul vision meditation. That's inside the automatic glow up bundle. I also help you rewrite your story. So we believe a lot of things that we've been told from our childhood. Which kind of dictates how we feel about ourselves, our worthiness, our confidence. And so I don't really believe in faking it till you make it. I help you rewrite the story that you've been playing on repeat by listening to these people, society, about your worth. We kind of let go of that story and we instill a new empowering story within you, so you can truly feel confident and kind of have this glow up moment within this bundle. I also give you journal prompts to get deeper into the critique voice that is just nagging. And we also let that voice go through these journal prompts. We flip the script. So if that's something that you're excited to try, you can find it in the show notes. It's completely free. And I promise you that it will give you an automatic glow up from within. Again, thank you so much for listening and hope to see you in the next one. Love ya. Bye.